there is a lot of hype on generative AI, and people are talking about generative AI, and now it's gone on to responsible AI and ethical AI. But from all the conversations that I have been having with CDOs in banks, etc., in Singapore, turns out that many actually consider generative AI as a bit of a disturbance. And next year, a lot of them are actually going to go back to their enterprise AI strategy and weave generative AI back into that AI strategy.
Traditional AI just tells you about how it is today. We'll look at the existing model and say, this is how this responds to this particular environment. Generative AI will create new ideas for you.
I think in telecom, anomaly detection, like every time I get a one-time password, I get a scam alert along with it. So those kind of things, AI is getting a lot of traction.
I mean, one of the things I think that's evolving is how the data is sourced for the models. And kind of nominally, I'm working with 3 different sources. So there's the public sourcing that we're seeing with ChatGPT, Bard, those kind of where they're just sucking anything that they find on the net. And I think that's where so much of the regulation is actually targeted, particularly around intellectual property and those kind of challenges. So the second area of data is where a vendor's aggregating customer data to see patterns of traffic. But that leads to that third category of data source, which is internal data. And I think where most organisations seem to be using AI effectively, it's from that internally sourced data.
What I'm seeing is, the hype around generative AI, but mostly from a people using it perspective, like just people as in workers and policies that are coming into organizations, obviously around, oh my God, are they really? And actually there's a lot of it going on that no one even knows is going on. But the second thing is adopting the GPT 3.5 and GPT-4 models and seeing, I'm talking to more and more people where they're actually going, can we be using this ourselves? Because they're cottoning on to the fact that really all it does is enable access to information in a more efficient manner.
From an end user point of view, if you are in an organization and you want to understand what the customer experience is like and analyze a lot of unstructured data, and every time you run an analysis, the data comes up with the model comes up with a different result. Like, how do you as an end user actually trust the data? How do you trust the results? Which is it's a real challenge for insights professionals and for the vendors as well using those models.
Now I see that the carriers actually, again, driven by the sustainability piece because of that whole green fuel thing, they are getting into voyage optimization, and that's for real. So voyage optimization meaning that given the ETA that you have promised to your customer, which is the best path you should take at what speed based on the draft and based on weather conditions and based on port availability and based on fuel consumption. So they are actually going into committing to customers that it's not always good to do a fast run, right?
The first instances or the first use cases of generative AI are always internal. Yeah, they are trying it for internal, mostly productivity, improved efficiency, more knowledge management, etc. But there is still a reluctance, at least in some industries, to build customer-facing generative AI solutions.
2024 is going to be all about what are the use cases for it. We have opportunities to be going in there, training, understanding use cases, how they're using it so far, and then saying, here are the 3 or 4 best use cases for Copilot or ChatGPT or whatever it is within your business.